Let's get Yurified.
Hot diggity dog. So I'm pleased to report that my happy dance worked, and we were treated to a smorgasbord of fantastic anime this season. My favorite, of course, being Seiyuu Radio. And oh boy, do we got some juicy stuff to dig into. So episode 1 gave us grand introductions to our two leads, Utatani Yasumi, real name Sato Yumiko, and Yugure Yuhi, real name Watanabe Chika. And just to keep things simple, I'm just gonna refer to them by their industry names from now on. Anyway, we got the rundown that our two main characters are voice actors, and true to the industry, their public persona is pretty much the exact opposite to their real personality. Yasumi's image is a pure and innocent angel, but is really a stunningly trendy Gyaru. And Yuhi is equally as pure, but is really a closed-off and grumpy loner, and a possible tsundere. Now the entire episode had me grinning ear to ear for obvious reasons, but the scene that made me giggle and squirm like a lunatic was their fantastic first encounter. So after a little incident between her and Yasumi's best bud Wakana, Yuhi notices that they were gushing over her idol persona, and going on about how amazing she was. Surprisingly, we learned that Yuhi holds nothing but contempt for her alter ego, as it was nothing more than an act to pander to the hungry otaku masses, and that ran contrary to her real genuine self. Now this will clearly be the main character drama for Yuhi going forward, but I suspect there's more to it than that. I mean, obviously you don't want to blow your load in the first episode by revealing everything that's bothering your main characters. So I imagine we'll learn what made Yuhi feel the way she does about her idol persona, and probably the entertainment industry as a whole. No spoilers, by the way. Anyway, Yasumi goes to confront Yuhi after she gave off a bit of attitude, and after explaining how much her fake persona makes her cringe, we get one of the funniest unaware complimenting scenes. So Yasumi sticks up for quote-unquote Yugure Yuhi, and preaches about how cute and beautiful she is, how amazing her singing is, how talented her voice acting is, and how cute and beautiful she is. Did I mention that? And what followed just had me slapping my knee in utter joy.
だから見た目も売りになるけど、それの何が悪いの？言っておくけど、見た目だけじゃないから。夕暮れ夕日は演技だって歌だって一級品で、その上容姿もいいから人気があるわけ。わかる？何よそれ。あなたこそよく知りもしないで適当なこと言わないでちょうだい。
So this is probably the cutest blush I've ever seen in anime. Again, made funnier that Yasumi was complimenting Yui to her face without realizing it. Also, I'm 80% sure that this is a tsundere blush. Anyway, some other stuff happens, and Yasumi and Yuhi are hired as radio personalities, and meet again with hilarious results. And thus, we're introduced to the show's winning formula. Two total opposites are forced to act all buddy-buddy together, despite grinding each other's gears in reality. Also, quick note, the whole genesis of this radio show is that the hosts Yasumi and Yui are both classmates, and apparently there'll be a neat little hook for the show or something. But the thing is, the fact that they're actual classmates isn't even necessary to the show, since they aren't using their real names, and they obviously aren't going to give out the name of their school. So there's no way for anyone to verify that they're classmates to begin with. They could just hire anyone to host a show, and say that they're in this or that kind of relationship. I don't know. I guess the point is that they were hired so they can have fun and relatable conversations with each other. So I guess they could recount some genuine interactions they had at school or something. Anyway, the episode ends with the girls hosting a live radio show, and Yuhi, despite being a professional, shows how uncomfortable she is in front of an audience. But like the suave heroine she is, Yasumi playfully loosens her up a bit, and the show ends without a hitch. Now with the second episode, we basically get lots of cute bonding moments between our destined couple, and a somewhat honest look into the voice acting / entertainment industry. I mean, it's not as cutthroat as Oshi no Ko, I assume, but I appreciate that the anime isn't hiding behind a cutesy facade all the time, and pretending like the industry is all kisses and smiles. This is Hollywood, baby. A pretty meta episode overall, and I think the purpose of it is to acknowledge that being a performer means having to put on a mask and work within the audience's expectations. At the end of the day, the entertainment industry is a business, and a pretty harsh one at that, but that doesn't mean you have to like it. I also can't deny there's some gratification in seeing such a large and positive reception to your work, even if it's from quote-unquote your untrue self. As Yasumi said, they're doing what they're doing because of their hard work and from the genuine support of their fans, and that's something to be proud of. But the most important thing is that they're having a sleepover next week. Now, it looks like we still have a ways to go before our sweet duo start opening up to each other, and begin what I call the heart knows what the mind doesn't part of their relationship. But it is off to a great start. I mean, I doubt I have to explain to everyone the massive potential of foyer / bickering couples. All you have to do is point to a few examples. Imawari and Sakurako, Nico and Maki, Maya and Claudine, Matama and Nemo, and even a certain new train riding duo. yeah. Now aside from the Yuri, I just want to point out how absolutely moe the anime looks. The only other Connect anime I've watched was Slow Loop, and that anime looked absolutely amazing too. They must have transferred all that moe energy to Seiyuu Radio, and that is especially evident in the character designs. Yeah, speaking of that, I didn't notice at first, but Yasumi is absolutely packing some serious heat. I mean, holy magumbos. This also means that Yui must be the total opposite, right? Another quick thing I want to mention is that Yasumi is voiced by Ito Miku, who you no doubt will remember as Shimamura from Adachi and Shimamura. And what's funny is that Yuhi kinda looks like Adachi too, and they're both awkward teens who like hugging people out of nowhere. My point is that the show is subtly trying to hint at something, but I can't quite figure out what. So yeah, fantastic premiere to a fantastic season. And speaking of that, Seiyuu Radio is one of the big 3 anime that I have high hopes for. The other 2 being Whisper Me a Love Song, obviously, and Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. Great first episodes too. And again, I also have so much I want to talk about. And I just want to give a special mention to Shumatsu Train for having one of the wildest premieres I've ever seen. The trippiness is off the tripometer. So yeah, I highly recommend them. Anyway, this season's absolutely flooded with cute girls doing cute things, which means 2 very important factors: beach episodes galore and plenty of juicy flirting. But seriously, let me know which show gave you the giggles so we can have a nice little chat about it. Alright, see you around.